Essay number 86. Not everybody will love you in a way you understand. You're going to spend your entire life being loved by people whose love you can't recognize. Your mother, criticizing your choices because she's terrified of you getting hurt. Your father, working himself to death because he doesn't know how else to say, I want to give you everything. Your partner, pulling away because they love you so much it scares them. Your friend, getting angry at your self-destruction because they can't bear to watch you hurt yourself. They're all loving you. You just don't recognize it as love because it doesn't look like what you expected love to look like. So much of what destroys our relationships isn't lack of love. It's misunderstood love. It's love expressed in languages we don't speak. It's love filtered through wounds we don't share. It's love distorted by fears we don't understand. For most people, the question isn't whether they're loved. They are. The question is whether they can recognize the love they're receiving, whether it matches the template in their head, whether it arrives in the package they ordered. You know what this feels like. You're with someone and you love them, but there's this nagging doubt. They're too young, too damaged, too different from what you pictured. You love them, but you wonder if there's something better out there. You love them, but the timing's wrong. You love them, but your ex was easier. You love them, but you're scared. You love them, but. We've all been trapped in that space between loving someone and wanting to choose otherwise. Between what we feel and what we think we should feel. Between the love we have and the love we think we deserve. Here's what we don't understand. The heart isn't a container with limited space. You don't put someone in it and suddenly everything else disappears. Your capacity to love someone doesn't erase your fears, your doubts, your wounds, your patterns. It doesn't heal what was broken before they arrived. Love grows you from the inside out. It expands you. But expansion doesn't eliminate what was already there. It just makes room for more. This is why love is so complicated. This is why you can love someone and still leave them. Love someone and still fight with them. Love someone and still hurt them. Love someone and still want something else. It's not because you don't love them enough. It's because all of these things can coexist. The presence of love doesn't make fear disappear. The presence of new love doesn't erase old pain. The presence of one feeling doesn't cancel out another. Your heart can hold multiple truths simultaneously. You can love someone and be terrified of them. You can want someone and want to run from them. You can need someone and resent needing them. You can choose someone and doubt the choice. But we expect love to be pure. We expect it to be certain. We expect it to override everything else. And when it doesn't, when it comes mixed with fear and doubt and confusion, we think something's wrong. We think it's not real love. But love doesn't always look like love. Some people love silently. They'll never say the words. They'll never make the gestures. Their love lives in the spaces between actions, in what they don't do rather than what they do. Some people love without knowing they're in love. They think it's friendship or obligation or habit. They don't recognize love unless it looks like a movie. Some people's love is masked by fear. It comes out as control, as jealousy, as anger. They love so much it terrifies them, so they push away. They love so much they can't bear to lose it, so they grip too tight. Some people love through criticism, like parents who nitpick because they're desperate for you to be okay. Their love sounds like disappointment because they don't know how else to express their fear of you suffering. Some people love by leaving. They love you enough to know they'll hurt you if they stay. They love you enough to remove themselves from your life. They love you enough to let you find someone who can love you better. Some people can't look at you after you're gone because it hurts too much. Some can't stop looking for you in crowds years later. Most can't tell you either way. Love gets filtered through our wounds. It gets distorted by our fears. It gets colored by our past. It gets shaped by what we learned love looks like when we were too young to question it. The person who grew up with critical parents might express love through constant correction. The person who grew up with absent parents might express love by never getting too close. The person who grew up with inconsistent parents might express love through dramatic gestures, followed by complete withdrawal. They're all loving you. It just doesn't look like the love you recognize. We think finding someone to love will make us whole. We think it will fill our voids, heal our wounds, fix what's broken. But that's not how it works. Nobody can fill spaces that were empty before they arrived. We have to fill those spaces ourselves. What love actually does is show us where the spaces are. It illuminates what needs healing. It reveals what needs attention. It exposes what we've been hiding from ourselves. Sometimes it goes misunderstood, the person loving you in the only way they know how, and you unable to receive it because it doesn't match your template. You loving someone with everything you have, and them unable to recognize it because it doesn't look like what they expected. But here's the comfort. It's not the misunderstanding that matters. It's how we let the misunderstanding transform us. You let the love, and all the twisted ways it gets morphed and filtered and expressed, push you into growth. You let the confusion teach you. You let the pain of misunderstood love show you where you need to expand your definition of what love can look like. Eventually, you realize it was never about the love someone did or didn't give you. It was about the love you had to find in yourself. The love that was catalyzed by their presence or absence. The love that was awakened by the journey of trying to understand their love. Sometimes we choose people who will love us in ways we don't understand, because we need to learn that love has more faces than we imagined. Sometimes we choose people who will hurt us, because that's the only way to be introduced to parts of ourselves we've been avoiding. Sometimes the person who breaks your heart is loving you in the most honest way they can, by showing you that you need to learn to love yourself in the spaces where their love can't reach. This is what love is supposed to do, give us more of it. Not always from the person we want it from, not always in the form we expect, but more love nonetheless. Sometimes it means taking love for ourselves when others can't give it. Sometimes it means recognizing love in forms we didn't expect. Sometimes it means understanding that the absence of love in one form is the presence of love in another. Your parent who never says "I love you" but shows up to every event. Your partner who can't express feelings but remembers every detail about you. Your friend who shows love through roasting you because vulnerability feels too dangerous. They're all loving you, in broken languages and distorted expressions and filtered through their own wounds, but loving you nonetheless. The question isn't whether you're loved, you are, by more people than you realize, in more ways than you recognize. The question is whether you can expand your understanding of what love looks like. Whether you can recognize love even when it comes wrapped in fear. Whether you can see love even when it's expressed through silence. Whether you can feel love even when it arrives as absence. Because here's the truth. Not everybody will love you in a way you understand. Your job isn't to force them to love you differently. Your job isn't to teach them your love language. Your job isn't to wait for love that looks exactly like what you expected. Your job is to recognize that love has been there all along, just wearing disguises you didn't recognize. Your job is to understand that everyone's doing their best with the broken tools they were given. Your job is to see that all love, even misunderstood love, is leading you back to the love you need to give yourself. The love you've been searching for in forms you recognize, you might never find it, but the love you need, it's already all around you. You just have to learn to see it. Even when it doesn't look like love. Especially when it doesn't look like love. Because sometimes the love that transforms us most is the love we almost missed because we were looking for something else. Open your eyes. Love is everywhere. You just haven't learned to recognize all its faces yet.